Hello, my dear friends. Today I will tell you about an astral journey I had, not too long ago. Pretty recently, just around a week ago. I found myself somewhere, cannot really tell where it was since it was so dark. Could not see the surroundings, since it was so dark. I saw a general, he was very tall. He had the same skin color, eye color and hair color like Saiyan. It was Saiyan, in his true star elven body, his Ainu Ra body. He had very thick long silky black hair. His armor was very advanced too. He held a sword in his hand, and behind him, on his back was a bow and arrows. The bow was not of wood, it was more like goldish metal, same with his arrows. His sword's handle was goldish in color, decorated with gems on the side, while the blade was of perfect metal, looked like enchanted steel, looked similar to Archangel Michael's holy sword. He was a very muscular elven warrior prince. He was a general, and he was leading an enormous army of archers swordsmen combine. He was the only one which was using a goldish armor. His troops had silverish armor on them. He seemed to be very concentrated, serious and strict in what he was doing, leading his army. Saiyan's real true name is Lucien Al-Uriel, and the name means, God's breath of light. But since he has reincarnated in a Pleiadian body, he is known by the name Saiyan Kumjat. Then, it was like I got a sudden blackout, and I cannot remember how I got there, and how long I had my blackout, I have no idea. But suddenly I found myself in a room. The room looked like a room fitting for a wizard or alchemist. In front of me was Lucien Al-Uriel. This time he had a black wizard's robe, with goldish decor on. He was looking into a huge crystal ball. It was much bigger than the crystal balls we have down here on this planet. He was moving his hands like a wizard about the crystal ball. It did not take long before I realized, that not only was he a prince and a general, he was a wizard and alchemist too. He did not see me, even if I stood pretty much in front of him. The way he was looking into the crystal ball, made me curious on what he was looking at. His facial expression was filled with burning unconditional love, and a warm loving smile was on his face. Suddenly he started to move his finger, like he was caressing whatever he saw in there. The way he looked inside the crystal ball made me curious. His eyes were sprouting of unconditional love and desire. I could not hold myself anymore, I was simply too curious. I walked closer till I stood in front of the crystal ball and Lucien Al-Uriel. He did not see me, cause I was there astral and he was not. He was awake and not sleeping or meditating. I looked inside the crystal ball, to see what it was that he was looking at. I was amazed on what I saw in the crystal ball. It was me, and I was sleeping peacefully in my bed, and Lucien Al-Uriel was caressing me with his finger on the crystal ball. Suddenly he moved his hand away from the crystal ball. I was still looking at myself in the crystal ball, where I was sleeping, peacefully in my bed. Then when I looked up, he was gone. I was alone in the room. After that all went black, like I got sudden blackout again. Shortly after I opened my eyes and I found myself in bed, back in my human body. Now I guess most of you are wondering, how on earth can Lucien Al-Uriel's soul be in both in a Pleiadian body and in his star elven body? I will explain this later on for you. My blessings to all of you. I am Aniela Michaela.